Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, like these wonderful people here today, Cindy and Christy and Plants Only Muncher, Tennis and Yoga Girl, Amy Smith, Barb, Pretty Girl's Mom, Carrie, Cindy, if I didn't already say it. Hello, everybody. Thanks for checking out my live stream. And if you'd like to participate in on this live stream, you can join me most weekdays where I go live around 4 p.m. Central Time. Or outside of the live stream, you can consider joining the Discord I created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. Many times people ask me, what foods am I eating to help with my weight loss? And that Pinterest board is a great place to see all of our family's favorite whole food plant-based meals. Today is day 823 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food plant-based salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 240 pounds so far. If anybody has any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. It is weigh-in Wednesday, so if you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you are struggling with your diet, what is causing your struggles? If you're succeeding with your diet, what are you doing to succeed? Let us all know. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are going to do that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's go ahead and switch over if I can find my mouse. Here we go. Hello. I hope you all had a wonderful evening, wonderful day today. I have been busy. I feel like I say that all the time, but today I don't think I could have been much busier than I was. So, I was going to show you food photos since yesterday, but I don't have much to show. So let me show you what I got. Yesterday, I got home and for dinner, we had something that was really spicy. Let me pull it up here. I don't know what the name of it was. I don't know if it was a red lentil chili or what, but it was very spicy. The red lentil mix that we had in there was really spicy, and then we put it with some brown rice, give it some added volume. I liked it last night. It wasn't the best dinner we've ever had, but it was still enjoyable. And it's something that me and Carrie talked about a little bit last night with these meals that, in the past, it always feels like we are, chasing that, sort of like with a drug addict, we're chasing that dragon, or we're chasing that dopamine fix, trying to get the most dopamine out of any food that we can eat. And in the past, there were many times where I ate a meal that wasn't the best it could be, or that had gone past its prime in a bit. The example I can think of is like fast food French fries. The number of times that I had gotten fast food French fries that were not that good, but I still took the time to eat them all. That's kind of what I think about when we have a meal that isn't our favorite or isn't the best meal we've ever had. It's food. And had I bought this food from a restaurant, I would have eaten it. How many times have you gone to a restaurant, ordered something, and they put too much of some seasoning or something on it that you didn't like, but you still found yourself eating the whole meal because, at the time you were just thinking food is food. Carrie said she had to do grocery shopping in person today. It's amazing not to be ashamed of anything that you put in your cart. I kind of notice that I do that sometimes too. when I go shopping now, I evaluate my cart and I realize, like, actually, you know what? When I'm filling my cart, what I think about is when I get to the cashier, if there's going to be a cashier, like if they're going to notice that everything that I have is plant-based, or if, you know, if they even pay attention, you know, and, but you think the same thing on the other end, you know, when I was buying junk food and I'd have my cart full of, ice cream and chips and chocolates and all this other stuff that's not healthy. I, you know, would also kind of have that in the back of my mind. What's the cashier going to think about what I'm buying? But now I don't ever feel ashamed of what's in the cart. I want people to take inventory of what's in my cart and maybe copy what I do. Cindy here said that she had a kitchen victory today. For the first time, you made homemade organic corn tortillas. You cannot find organic, salt and oil free. A couple of rookie mistakes, but next time it will be easy. That's awesome that you were able to make some homemade organic corn tortillas. Yeah, Carrie has made tortillas at home sometimes. And there's a brand of tortillas that we've bought. I can't figure out what the name of it is. It's like some guy's name. It's like Tony's Tortillas or something like that. But sometimes Carrie will take those tortillas and then she'll just put them in the air fryer to make chips. And she just said that here too. Oh, okay. Carrie was saying the dinner from last night that I had up here is actually the leftover taco filling from the meal that we had a few days ago. And then I imagine she added a little bit of like a chipotle seasoning to it because it felt much spicier than it was when it was in the tacos. But yeah, that was just the leftover taco filling that we mixed in with some brown rice there. And so that's the only food photo I have. And the reason why I don't have any food photos from today is because I haven't eaten yet today. I got to work really early this morning and have been busy since the moment I got in here. Carrie was working here and she had cooked up some potatoes. They're still in the Instapot. I haven't grabbed them yet. I'm still working on my breakfast. And so I actually have it at my desk because I realized right before stream that I had not eaten. I had taken the steamer bag and I put it in the microwave, but I never pulled it out. And so this is my breakfast, or the starter to my breakfast that I'm going to eat at 4:20 or at 5 p.m. today. Yeah, Carrie says food is just piling up there. You brought lunch in to me and then you made lunch there. Yeah. Yeah, because the way kind of our schedule is worked right now, what we've been doing is I go into work early, and then Carrie, after she's able to get the kids out the door and to school, when she comes into work, she brings my breakfast. So I'm not really eating breakfast till most people are eating lunch. And then today I'm not eating breakfast till most people eat dinner. So I've not had a ton of food or really any food today. I did pick a few little pieces of broccoli out of there. But yeah, that's just a steamer bag of broccoli with some California balsamic teriyaki flavored vinegar in it. And then I have a bowl of oatmeal and there's a whole thing of Instapot potatoes. So I have access to all kinds of food. I just was very busy today and did not end up eating any food today. And so, yes, it is piling up here. Sam, hi, Sam. I just saw your comment here. You say you just want to say my channel is iconic. Thank you. And you're rooting for me. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all you guys that are following. And I hope that you're able to get something from this, or that, you know, at least seeing that losing weight this way is possible. So that's awesome. Thanks, Sam. I had a chain of thought that I was going to go with, and then I lost it. So, the topic I was going to talk about a little bit today is taking control of your health. Something that I didn't realize that by losing control of the food that we put in our body, we also lose control of our health, because we don't know everything that's put in the food that we eat. And there's still a lot of things that the people that put the stuff in the food don't know about what effects it has on everybody, but they're still putting it in the food. So what I guess I want to get at is that in order to take control of your health, you need to take back control of the food that you put in your body. We so quickly just allow others to take care of these things for us. We use the convenience as the attractiveness of the convenience lures us in to doing these things, and then we get kind of stuck in this loop of that routine that we've been stuck in. But by allowing these corporations and these companies to control what is in the content of the food that you're eating, you slowly give up control over your health. And by doing that, it's a slow thing, but over time it builds up. And the convenience, I think that's a huge reason why we give up control of our food, is because of convenience. You think, well, it would take me X amount of time to do that at home, or I'd have to go get all of these ingredients to do this at home, or I can just go to the store where it's already pre-bought, pre-cooked, pre-made, pre-ready, pre-digested. I mean, so you go to the store and you buy this food because of the convenience of the time that it is saving you of buying the food. And then on top of the the convenience of the food, how easy it is, these companies also know that they have to compete with each other. So they have to make their product special. They have to make you crave their burger over the competitor's burger, their fries over the competitor's fries, their cereal over the competitor's cereal. Sam says you're there pretending to work because it's a slow day. Carrie's actually making a reference to what I'm about to talk about, or what I'm leading up to here with the driving 15 miles an hour. But we give it up, and we look at the positive parts of what we gave up. We look at the time saving aspect of it. We look at the knowledge base, the needing to have the knowledge to prepare your own food. But we look at the convenience and we think, I don't have to worry about that. It's easy. Carrie says she does that every day, pretending to work, but don't tell her boss. I see you not doing anything. So we give up control of our food. We give up control of our health, because the people that are selling us the food, they aren't concerned about our health. They're concerned about our dollars. The only person that's going to be concerned about your health is going to be yourself. That's going to be the person at the end of the day that it's important to, because the people at these food manufacturing companies are never going to look out for us as the customer number one. They are always going to look out for the shareholders of the company, because that's who is responsible for whether or not they have a job or not. So first is going to come to the shareholders. That's who they care about. That's what they want to, because they want to keep their job. And if they make a decision that is a good thing for the customer, but a bad thing for the bottom line of the company, they will lose their job. It's just going to happen. And so when you give these people control, they only care about getting your money. They do not care about you being healthy. They don't, at the end of the day, even when they put up a facade, like they care. Once they, we sell burgers, but now we sell a salad. They know that they are not going to sell any less burgers because they sell salad. They're just going to sell the burger to the person in the car that wanted the burger. And then there might be somebody that wanted a salad in that car too. So instead of that person sitting there getting nothing, they get to buy a salad this time. But they're still going to sell just as many of the high fat, high calorie meals as they were before they offered the salad. They know that it's not going to hurt them. And if they can get good press by making it look like they care, then they'll do that. I really feel like I saw that kind of with KFC and their Beyond Chicken Nuggets. Like, they released those Beyond Chicken Nuggets last year, and it was a money grab. Like, it was, because I don't know if they even still sell them, but it was good press for them that they were doing that. It made them appear like they had a healthier option by having plant-based nuggets, but you're buying food from KFC. It's fried in oil, so, Cindy here says, convenience food such as Swanson's TV dinners came on the scene in the 50s, and most people haven't stopped eating convenience food since then. Yes. One of my favorite stories is in the book Salt, Sugar, Fat by Michael Moss. It's Michael Moss's book. I'm not sure the order of the salt, sugar, fat, but it's it might be sugar, salt, fat. But he tells a story about instant pudding and about how the development of instant pudding came along. The company Jell-O, that is most well known for instant pudding right now, back in the 40s, they wouldn't allow their food engineers to use chemicals to help the process of making pudding. But they wanted to find a way to make pudding faster than it had been, because making pudding historically was like a half day or an all day thing. You had to, if you wanted to have pudding for dinner, you had to start making it in the morning. So they were trying to find a way that they could make pudding faster, and they wouldn't let their engineers put chemicals in the food. They had to use whole natural foods, and they couldn't figure it out until a competing company applied for a patent that said that they could make pudding in 20 minutes. And as soon as that patent got filed and the people at Jell-O saw that somebody was potentially going to release a pudding that could be done in 20 minutes, they went to their engineers and said, hey, you know what? If you can find a chemical that can make those things dry up faster and cause the reaction to create the pudding to happen, if you have to use a chemical to do that, go ahead. Let us know what you come up with. And almost immediately, they came out with pudding that could be done faster than the competitor's patent. The competitor, I don't even think, ended up releasing the food because Jell-O jumped on it and got into the market before that competitor even had a chance. And that was a company that at one time it was holding a moral high ground. And then because they saw that their market share and their profit was going to be affected, they moved the line. They said, okay, let's move it a little bit. And so we, and they do that And they've done that year after year after year after year. And something that, the reference Carrie made with her comment here earlier is something that I had a professor in high school or college. I had a professor in college. I really liked this professor. And he was talking about it might have been opportunity costs, something like that a little bit, but he was talking about the risk versus reward that we do every day in our lives. And he talked about vehicles or cars. And he said that, there's thousands or tens of thousands of people that die every year in traffic accidents. And we could fix that. We could reduce the number of traffic accidents to nearly none if we were willing to give up the convenience. Because if you wanted to get rid of most fatal traffic accidents, what you would do is you would change all speed limits, that the fastest that you could travel in a vehicle is 15 miles an hour. And then you would require all vehicles to be made with 1-inch steel bodies and that are reinforced. So if you're driving at a max speed of 15 miles an hour and you got a vehicle that's got 1-inch steel reinforced frame and side panels and roof and bulletproof glass, you're going to reduce the death risk greatly, nearly to 100% if you do that. But people would go ape shit. They would be like, there's no way I'd be willing to do that. It's not, because the trip that takes 2 hours now is going to take you a full day to do if you have to do it at 15 miles an hour. But we give up our safety. We're driving in a car at 70 miles an hour down the highway, and that's a jet powered, or not jet powered, but a combustion powered missile that you're driving down the road that with a full tank of gas has payload on it that you could do a lot of damage in a vehicle at 75 miles an hour. And I feel like what's happening with our diet system is that we used to be on a highway system that we could only drive 15 miles an hour. Everybody was on horse and buggy. You could only go so fast. So then as time went on and technology got better, then the food that we had access to got better. And so the roads got better, and then the speed limit sped up. And so instead of going 15 miles an hour back like we were in the 20s, we're now going, in the 50s, they're going 40 miles an hour. In the 80s, they're going 60 miles an hour. And today, the speed at which people are killing themselves with their diet, I wasn't driving down the road at 75 miles an hour before. I was driving down the road at 110 miles an hour. And it's, our food system in this country is turning into an Autobahn. It's turning into a go as fast as you want, eat as much as you want, go recklessly into the wild, and enjoy yourself while you have while you're on this planet. And I'm realizing now that I don't want to be driving 110 miles an hour down the road anymore. I don't need to get anywhere that fast. I can go 15 miles an hour. I can go back to eating the way that we ate before the companies got involved, before the processing of food became a thing. I'm happy to go sit on my horse and buggy and drive down the interstate and have people drive by me at 110 miles an hour, because I know that by slowing down, I added years to my life, because they may pass me at 110 miles an hour today, but 3 years from now, when I'm still going 15 miles an hour, I'm going to be driving by the wreckage that is their heart disease and their diabetes and everything that they ran into as they were driving 110 miles an hour. I'm going to see the wreckage of that on the side of the road as I putt by at 15 miles an hour. But I'm going to be able to have those experiences. I'm going to be able to be on the road. I may not get all the way to California, but I'll be on the road for as long as I possibly can be on the road. I don't have to worry about these dangers jumping out from the side of the road and killing me, or other drivers on the road. I took back control of my diet. I took back control of the steering wheel. And now I make the decision of everything that goes into my mouth. It's, broccoli and vinegar, potatoes, brown rice, spinach and vegetables and zucchini and all kinds of wonderful things that I get to control what I eat now. It slows me down. It takes us longer to make food. It takes us longer to go and buy the food. We had to develop the knowledge how to make some of this food. That's one of the things that happened very early on in this diet. I never, for 38 years, had a problem figuring out how to feed myself. Then we switched over to a plant-based diet, and I'm standing there staring at a pantry that's full of food going, I don't know how to make any of this into anything I can eat. And now 2 years later, I can look at that pantry and I can go, I can figure out how to use about half of this stuff, or I can make something out of what I got now, but I couldn't when I started. And it took the time. I had to take the time to learn, to understand that you don't need oil to cook vegetables or to cook food. You don't need all these other things. Sam says, you are plant-based now. You've been for a year, and since you feel new at it, you still struggle with making stuff to eat. Sorry, disregard the first message. You got confused. Yes, I have always been plant-based. I am, well, not always. I've been plant-based since December 12th of 2020, after I finished my water fast. So, but yes, I really like plant-based. Like you said, you've been plant-based for a year and you still feel new at it. And that's something too that, I reach out to people, or I've been like interviewed by like Chef AJ. There's a lot of people here that follow me because I was on Chef AJ, and I look at the amount of time that somebody like Chef AJ has been doing plant-based. She's been vegan for years, but then plant-based for a decade now, or she's been eating this way for over a decade. And I look at my 2 years and I realize that, I'm just an infant at this. I just am learning, and you have to be kind to yourself that you're figuring it out, and it takes time. But now that I've taken the time, it took me extra time to learn how to do that, how to make food, how to do this stuff, how to cook this way, but it's easier now. And I get to enjoy a lot more volume of food because I'm not staring at a blank pantry near as much. And so the ability to just be in charge of your food, stop letting other people make it. Don't buy prepared food at restaurants for a while. Don't buy the Hungry Man TV dinners or the Swanson TV dinners that people have been eating for years and years. And I think that some of what's happened too is Cindy had mentioned that, back in the 50s when that came out, back in the 60s and 70s, they used to have more of like a home ec class at school where they would teach people how to cook food. And then there was a story I read with kind of the not Betty Crocker, but it was one of those cookbooks that kind of was released annually that kind of helped remove home ec classes from schools. But what I think happened is that the schools realized that the food, there was access to faster, easier, convenient food at the stores. So they didn't take the time to teach it as much in the school because it was the speed of the food that people were eating, the convenience food that people were eating wasn't matching what they were maybe teaching people. So, So you saw a disappearance of teaching people how to cook. Like my kids won't likely ever take a class in junior high or high school that teaches them how to cook their own food. And it's because they know that people are going to just go to a convenience option. They don't need to know how to cook their food, and then we have so many kitchen appliances now, and the microwave, and things, they make them fairly idiot proof to throw a TV dinner in the thing. Cindy here says that makes sense about home ec. You never thought of it that way. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know there was something that I read. It might have been in that Salt, Sugar, Fat. It also might have been in the Future of Nutrition. There's a lot of books I've read, and it's been a while since I read them, where they talked about just that it was kind of a corporate push that removed home ec from schools, because if the people know how to make their own lasagna, then they don't need to buy our pre-packaged lasagna. So there's no reason to teach them that. They can just go buy the pre-packaged one that we got for them. So let's teach them something else. Let's teach them some more math. That they'll they need to know that advanced calculus and not how to make rice. So just, to get control of your health, you got to take back control of your food. And that's something that it's taken me a while to figure it out. And I kind of mentioned it in my weigh-in video. I didn't even go over my weigh-in. I'll talk about that in a second. Really the whole second year of this challenge was me figuring out a lot of things, psychologically or mentally, about being on a diet this long, being able to sustain weight loss, that I was able to do because I've been eating a plant-based diet, and it keeps going. Hey, Janet, you're in the garden, but listening in your pocket, going good with the weigh-in. Yes, I guess I'll go over the weigh-in. I realized that we're 30 minutes in. I didn't talk about it at all, but I did have my weekly weigh-in today. I think, my starting weight, or my weight this morning, was 278.2 pounds. I got on the scale today. I was 277.4. So I am down another 0.8 pounds since last week. And I am really happy with that. I got really excited last Friday when I got on the scale and I was like really light, thinking, maybe that'll carry through into next week. And, but kind of have this cycle that I go through is that I'm really generally at my lightest kind of on Friday. I go home, the weekend kind of changes up, or I have access to more food on the weekend. So I come back Monday, kind of with a little bit of a bump in that trend of downward weight loss that I had been developing throughout the week. And so I'm really happy to see a 0.8 pound weight loss. I mean, the big thing for me is to be able to sit here at 823 days in and still have nearly a 1 pound weight loss in a week, and having it not feeling like I'm white knuckling it, like that's the thing about all these other diets that I've been on, is that I feel like it's such a struggle. The longer you go, the longer you try to stay compliant or stay on the diet, it becomes an even bigger struggle. And it's like it keeps piling up and getting harder and harder as time goes on. I haven't had that issue with this diet.